Hi, so today we're going to be reviewing ratios and proportional relationships. So that's a really big unit in 7th grade. It still deals with fractions like you were working with a little bit yesterday. Where we tied it in with 8th grade work was the idea of things working proportionally. So that has to do with linear graphs, the idea of rise over run. So for example, the first problem asks you to find each unit rate. So that's like saying instead of 450 yards in 15 minutes, how many yards did it travel in 1 minute? That's something that you could easily calculate using a proportion, but that's also something we could graph. The idea that if something went up 450 yards over 15 minutes, that's a slope. So for these problems, you are going to be setting up a proportion. That's when you have two fractions that equal to one another. If something could travel 450 yards, let's say 450 yards in 15 minutes, we want to figure out how many yards, an unknown, so I'll use X, it could travel in 1 minute. Sometimes upcoming 7th graders tell me that they learn about this in 7th grade as the big X. So you're really going to be using cross multiplication, figuring out what is 450 times 1, and that's going to equal 15 times x. So again, sometimes in 7th grade, I think they call it the big X, but this is also a logical problem. You're welcome to use that logic to apply it. For 3 and 4, find each number, round to the nearest tenth if necessary. I think that this is a good place to really practice doing this workout on paper, simplifying fractions, setting up the proportion. So I'm going to ask that you only use a calculator to check your work. Let's see. For problem solving, one thing that I want to encourage everyone to do is to think logically about what you'd anticipate the answer to be. Jamie went to have a haircut that cost $40. She wanted to tip the hairstylist 20%, and tax is 6.25%. How much did she spend total for the haircut? So again, you want to think about what makes sense. If she paid $40 and then wants to tip and then there's also tax, it's going to be more than $40. If she's only tipping 20% and that's pretty low for tax, it's not going to suddenly be $100 for that haircut. So you just want to be logical, make sure you read carefully, anticipate an answer, and then solve it. So just like yesterday, if you have questions, you want to make sure you email me, you let me know. My office hour is Thursday, but you don't want to wait till Thursday for a question you have on Tuesday. Let me know how I can help, but otherwise, have a nice day.